Oh, how have you been?
A bit tired, but I'm okay. I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you too. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful to have you today.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. How's the weather in Paris today?
It's very, very good. After that, I'm going to try to go out.
Yeah?
Friends, yeah.
It's quite a beautiful one here as well. We have a lot of sunshine.
Okay.
And it's warm.
Good.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect?
Everything is perfect. We're listening to music by our son and his friends.
Okay.
They released an album on Monday last week, so 10 days ago.
Okay.
Called Meditate.
Meditate.
Meditate, yes. It's on Spotify.
Okay.
And it will soon be, it's Spotify, Deza, YouTube, and it will be on Apple Music soon as well.
That's cool.
Congrats.
Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you. We're very excited, actually. Very excited. Yeah. So last week you were in the countryside, I understand.
Oh, yes. I needed some rest.
How was it?
It was marvelous. I can't wait to go back. Now I think living in Paris will be very difficult for me. So the times I'm going to try to go.
Yeah.
And have some silence.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good. I mean, those breaks are so valuable, so important.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for your health and good for your mind as well. It's good for inspiration.
And you know, the world we are living in now is very noisy. So we need to take time from time to time to go and have some meditation.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you know, I'll tell you an interesting story. When we were confined in New York during the lockdown, our street was so quiet that we totally got used to the peace and quiet for 3 months.
Yeah.
And the day traffic started again, I found it unbearable. I kept complaining about the noise, and my children would say, "But Mom, it's always been that noisy." And I'd say, "Yeah, but you know, before maybe I was just used to it, somehow."
Yeah,
and I didn't feel it. But having had the 3 months interruption made me realize how noisy it was.
No, the world is very noisy.
Yes, indeed, indeed. I'm really looking forward to our talk today, and I can see we have a lot of guests joining. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Valerie. Welcome, Afsa. I've seen Afsa, Abdul, Yuli. Welcome. Thank you for being there with us every week. We're very grateful. And we're just going to let more people join and we'll get started.
Okay.
So Deza, are you ready for this?
Let's say I'm ready. We will see when we start talking.
Excellent. Well, I'll start by introducing you now, and then we'll get to the heart of it.
Thank you.
So Deza, you are born in Cameroon, and you had serious health problems when you were 4 years old. And these caused you to be severely handicapped from adolescence onward. You were evacuated in France in 1996 for more appropriate medical treatment. And after spending 2 long years in hospital, you decided to find a way to go back to school. So you studied at Sorbonne in Paris and at the University of Connecticut in the US. But it is when you came back to France as a young adult that you actually discovered that your status as a woman of color, in addition to being disabled, is a major social problem. And despite your brilliant graduate studies, your master's in e-business, you struggled to find a job that would match your ambitions. So you decided to take your fate into your own hands and avoid any possible frustration related to discrimination. And as you're adventurous and creative, you came up with a great idea, which is to integrate disabilities into the aesthetic world and create a corpus of images to change the way people view disabilities. Your ambition is to stimulate societal and social change through artistic creations, to destigmatize handicap and encourage people to speak freely about it, and promote prevention for young people. In 2011, you created E&H Lab, a hybrid business model somewhere between the general interest and business venture. And through E&H Lab, you've already organized 5 citizen campaigns, I should say 5 major campaigns. And with your teams, you're currently developing a new general interest campaign on mental disorder. Through your actions for companies and civil societies, you work to change attitudes and promote more inclusiveness in society. So far, you've devoted your life and your energy to social innovation, and your achievements speak for themselves. I'll just name a few. You have edited a book, The Art of Being Different, that gathers stories about disabilities, a series of photo exhibitions and public campaigns. The main one, called Chaos, is a scenographic installation using new technologies and virtual reality as a lever to immerse participants in the world of mental disorders. You've also had another campaign called Aesthetics and Disability and Be Thyself. Those were more photo exhibitions to invite the public to look at disability in a different way. There's also Mirror of My Soul, which is a documentary. Let's Crush Prejudice, a street art campaign to break down preconceived ideas about handicap. This particular one was also shown in, at the Cape Town Civic Center in South Africa. And then there's Connaissance, which is an immersive artistic journey to raise awareness about sensory disabilities. And not to mention that you have been at the heart of a major national survey and campaign, communication campaign on career development for people with disabilities. But that's not all. Deza, you are also a recognized and respected personality. On December 3rd, 2018, there was a documentary dedicated to you that was broadcasted on RMC Story. It's a TV channel on TNT.
Yeah.
Le Monde.fr has already devoted 4 articles to you. France Télévisions did a coverage about your work. And newspapers and magazines such as Métro, 20 Minutes, Le Parisien, Le Pèlerin, Courrier des Cadres, Rebondir, Actuel, have all praised your courage and your actions in the portraits that they've written about you. So Deza Nguembock, thank you so much. I really want to give you a heartfelt thank you from Acosphere, Bill and myself, for accepting to be our guest today. And with no further ado, I'd like to say you define yourself as an entrepreneur who crushes prejudices. What is your story, Deza Nguembock?
Thank you so much, Nadia, for these words, introducing me. My story, what I can say about my story is that of a physical challenge, Black woman who decided to change the mindset of people concerning individuals with disability. But to understand what makes me the person I am and what motivates me, I would like to invite you to get into the plane and follow me in Cameroon, my home country where everything started. So like you said, at the age of 4, I was sent in the hospital in a coma with my parents being told I was going to die at any moment.
Wow.
So I spent my whole childhood facing the trauma of a mysterious disease, which became a disability in my teen years. But the support of my family and of my community brought me back to life. So this was my first experience of further challenges. My ability to use willpower to take control of my destiny enabled me to focus on my goal with grit and determination and to live quite a normal life. So I went to regular public school like my siblings. In spite of period where I was repeatedly sick and had to stay home, I always had the highest degrees at school, and I had my diploma with ease. I understood that my teachers considered me to be like a special person, and I had I had a lot of friends who also really surrounded me with appreciation and love. All these really made me the person I am today. So you can imagine, with this love and acceptance, when I arrived in the Western world, being labeled like a disabled the way it is here, I was kind of very shocked.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really look at you the way you need to be looked. People don't talk at you. Whenever I am with somebody, they will talk to this person instead of talking to me, you see. So this was my experience of being labeled disabled and having the desire to bring change to this society. So if today I decided to be a change maker, all those experiences led to this.
Wow. Wow. That is powerful, Deza. I know how strong you are, but could you kindly share with us any anecdotes related to the challenges and opportunities that you have had to face in your career, in your life, in your activities?
Yeah, I can start with saying that when I entered the job market, then I really got exponentially aware of the difficulties of people labeled disabled. Because I was putting naively in my curriculum the status of disabled job seeker, I barely got any call for a very, very long time. However, when I took this information off, my phone never stopped ringing. So as one thing leads to another, I started looking at inclusion policies and the overall situation of my peers. I noticed that disabled persons were mostly at the lowest level of the social and professional scale. This is something I cannot really tolerate for myself nor for anyone else. So this profound dissatisfaction with status quo what drove me to become a change maker. I worked like 6 months in a company. And in this company, I was in the direct marketing hub. People were looking at me very strangely every day, which is not a problem for me, But when the contract ended up, my boss invited me to his office. He said, okay, Deza, your job was excellent. And here is a permanent position that you can take if you want. The salary was not high, but he said, I saw how you work, and I really know that you will get an upgrade very soon. Mm-hmm. So if it's okay for you, just keep the keys of the office because you will be in the same office. Keep the keys of the garage. You park your car in the same place, and come January 3rd, and this day you sign your contract and go on with the work. So it was like a Christmas present for me because it was in December. I remember that January 3rd, like if it was yesterday. I was getting ready in the morning, finishing my morning routine when my phone rang. I took the phone and somebody in the line said something. I don't think my mind wanted to hear that thing. It said something I didn't understand. I said, "Can you repeat, please?" And then they said, "Very sorry, you cannot come. You cannot come here. It was a mistake. You shouldn't have been given this position. So please don't come at work."
Wow.
Can you understand? Can you imagine what I went through that moment? I just say, okay. I don't know if it was because of my status of disabled job seeker or because I'm a Black person or even because I'm a woman. I don't know. But what I can say today is that this situation was a challenge at that time turned turned out to be an opportunity because I wouldn't have been here today talking to you like a social entrepreneur if I didn't have this situation.
Deza, you have such a strong mindset. It's really impressive, really, really impressive. And so from there on, you started ENH Lab.
So by that time, I started a nonprofit called Deza. It was a nonprofit organization where I started doing some art projects. And from those art projects, I started the project on disability, the aesthetics and disability concept. And later on, I decided to stop the nonprofit and to start a profit business.
Right. So that's when ENH Lab comes in.
Absolutely. But I have other anecdotes if you want me maybe to talk about.
Oh, please, please, yes.
What concerning my life, which is not concerning work. It was a confrontation with a doctor. You know, when I came to France, it was because of medical reasons.
Yeah.
And I was very tired by that time. And what I was expecting coming to France is that this problem was fixed.
Yeah.
So here in Paris, I was sent to La Pitié-Salpêtrière. It's a very well-known hospital. And the team was very great and everyone was okay. But I have never met the surgeon. And I said, okay, my life will be given to this man and I haven't seen him anytime. So I was not confident at all. So I decided to quit and go to another place. I found another hospital in Lyon where I went and I met the doctor who talked to me with very simple words. And he explained me what he will do. And I said, okay, I'm going to come here for my surgery. So I went there. I stayed like maybe 3 months. I don't even remember exactly, but it was very long to get ready for the surgery. And 2 weeks before the surgery, I had to meet with the anesthetist, and I have to sign the document saying that I am aware of the risk and I give my consent for the surgery. So when I pushed the door, I went in. The anesthetist was there and he looked at me. I said, hello, I'm just here to sign the document for the surgery in 2 weeks. He was kind of looking at me very strangely and he said, I have to explain you some situations. Maybe you are not aware. Your health problem is very risky and I don't think you will survive this surgery. So I advise you not to go for it.
Wow.
He looked at me face to face and he said, you will die. You won't survive. So don't do that. Just a few seconds, I closed my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, I just said, I am ready. Let's go for that. I took the papers, I signed the document, and here I am today.
Wow. Are you some sort of daredevil?
No, I think, you know, there is something higher, and
Yeah.
I really believe in that, and I think what is meant to be will be.
Yes.
And it doesn't depend on me. It doesn't depend on the doctor. It doesn't depend on anyone else. But I just follow my destiny.
You just follow your destiny. This is a beautiful sentence, Deza, and a beautiful belief. So as you follow your destiny, you dedicated your life to your projects, you know, integrating disabilities through aesthetics and creating, you know, exhibitions and events that change the way people view disabilities and stimulate societal change. Can you tell us more about this work that you do, your passion, what fuels your passion?
Okay. I think life for me is all about beauty. It starts with looking at the nature, you see. If you look at mountains, you look at oceans, you look at leaves, everything you see is about beauty.
Right.
Everything a human being try to shape is with this perspective, in this perspective. Even as kids, our imaginary turns around the concept of beauty. So how comes that society had decided that some people, they created a norm where some people are rejected because they don't fit? And how comes that some people exclude themselves and not want to sit on a table because they don't feel good? So this is what fuels my passion. I want everyone to be comfortable with themselves and be at ease in the world in which they live. How This is how things started with the aesthetics and disability. I couldn't really stand that some people don't see themselves or look at themselves with peace. You see?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. So you want everybody to feel at ease with themselves, no matter what.
No matter what, and put that way, I would even say that it depends. It goes further than disability.
Yeah.
Everyone will feel different, but we need to be in peace with ourselves. We need to look to ourselves with beautiful eyes. Oscar Wilde said that the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And so I decided to invite society to look further than what their eyes can see. And I bring them beauty.
Wow. And talking about which, among, you know, all these incredible exhibitions and events that you have created, I know there is one that is particularly dear to your heart, and it's called Chaos.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the Chaos Project?
This is my latest campaign. And it's a unique, immersive experience at the core of mental disorder. You
Right.
know that mental disorder it affects today 25% of the overall population, according to a study of the World Health Organization. It is the first cause of disability in the world, the second cause of sick leave in France, and over 11,000 people died per year because of suicide. So my goal with this project is to destigmatize and eliminate taboos by encouraging people to talk freely about their situation. I would also like to prevent from social isolation, because you see, when people know that, or the guess that you might have this problem, they don't cope with you anymore. They don't live with you. Even in the job force, they will put you aside and you will be by yourself. So I really want to help those social isolation to not be anymore. I would like to make a priority, prevention as a priority, because young people today, and with the situation we are facing with COVID-19, and the confinement, this is a very big problem. So we need to make prevention a priority. Mm-hmm. And I would really like also to advocate for reduction of the economic, because if they include people with mental disorder, Social Security will not have to pay for the bills, you know. And we know that working is also a key factor for health improvement. So we really need to work on this project. Unfortunately, COVID-19 stopped the project because I was planned for Vivatech this year to raise about 1 million euros to finish the production and organize the international tour.
So should we keep our fingers crossed then and hope that, you know, you'll find other ways of financing the project so that it keeps going?
It's really, really important because Vivatech has been reported next year,
right,
2021, but I can't wait until that time. I need to find some other sponsor to start helping now for the project to be saved. Exactly. Otherwise, I don't know if I will go on with it.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and if anyone knows a way to support this project, well, I am throwing this word out, Deza, if you allow me, so that we can maybe help you some way or another. It's such a beautiful project.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, chaos, you've talked to us about. How did the idea of a book come to you?
The idea of a book came because of the documentary Miroir de mon âme, Mirror of my soul. I met beautiful people, and we had a lot of materials that was very great, and I couldn't use everything in the movie. So I decided to prolong the movie in a book. And
excellent, excellent. Deza, thank you for all this insight. It's fantastic. We could go on and on about this, but I'd like to ask you what makes you an international public speaker, and how do you find the confidence to stand and speak and make people listen to you?
This is a very tricky question because I don't really think myself to be an effective public speaker.
And yet?
The only thing I know is that I have something maybe genuine, maybe powerful to share, which is my life experience. So, but I have two secrets. When I go on stage, I like to transform any form of stage fright into energy. And I like sharing this energy with the people. The way I walk, I will look at them, I will have my body language express itself. And also I like listening and perceive what the audience would like to receive and hear, so that I can adapt my speech and use the language that they can easily relate to with understanding and interest.
So two very strong secrets here. Transforming your fear of being on stage into energy.
Yeah.
And then listening, so you understand the expectations of your audience.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So what advice would you give our audience, Deza, either on promoting diversity and inclusion or on public speaking, or both?
I would say on both. I will start with promoting diversity and inclusion, and I will have the first advice for those who are managers. I would suggest them to try their best to see the glass full, half full than half empty.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people just focus on the disabilities. I would like them, instead of focusing on disabilities, to focus on abilities and help people to excel with what they have. This is very, very important. And on the people who are labeled disabled or any minority group, what I want to tell them is that only the sky is the limit. So never, never, ever let anyone set the boundaries for them. And on public speaking, I think what I can do myself is just because I'm passionate about what I do. My work is also my life, but I think it really needs some training, some good trainings.
Wow. So on managing disabilities and diversity and inclusion, you recommend that we all look at the glass half full. And for those people who have disabilities, to believe that the sky is the limit. And you are the living proof that the sky is the limit. Deza, you are such a fantastic person, and I feel just so honored to be interviewing you. This is awesome. Are there any final thoughts, messages you want to share with our public?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I was thinking that what I'm doing here in the Western world will also be of some interest for Africa. Because sometimes I do receive letters from my African peers in many different countries, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to the right person there. I mean, the decision makers, to convince them that time has also come for them to develop and implement inclusive policies.
Right.
So I think no one is proud to go to the street and beg for food or drink. So please, I would like them to get back the dignity to those people. And I'm really ready also to be of some help. So anyone here hearing, pass on to the message. And I really, really want to thank you also, Nadia. And I'm very grateful to be here today with you, sharing what I shared with you.
Thank you, Deza. Thank you very much. So we should spread the word about not letting anyone with a disability suffer, and do whatever we can to give them their dignity. That is such a powerful, generous, kind message. Deza Nguembock, as I always said, you're a beautiful soul. And I'm always impressed every time I talk with you. So, you know, I can only tell you how honored we are, and thank you really, really from the bottom of our heart for being here today. But before we part, I would like to announce our next speaker. So Thursday next week, same place, same time, Gila Cogny will be interviewing Ayan Mohalim. She is in the fashion industry. She has a fantastic platform, e-platform, selling fashion from across the continent. And I'm sure you will be delighted to discover more about Ayan next week. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, and let us all together thank Deza one more time for being here with us, for sharing such interesting insight, and just for being who she is, a very beautiful, positive, determined person.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lots of love, and till next week.
Thank you.
Deza, thank you a million.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.